We're out here at the back of our garden this morning because our Concord grapes are ready to be harvested and made into grape jam. So today I just wanted to show you our pitiful grapes. We have yet to take care of these, and we will create a beautiful grape arbor this fall. But right now, the grapes are ready and they can't wait on me. So I want to show you what they look like real quick, and then I'm going to start cutting and filling up my pail so we can go inside and make some grape jam today. So here are all of the Concord grapes. They're ripe and ready. I did a taste test yesterday and they taste wonderful. I'm just gonna clip them off with some kitchen shears and put them in my pail over here, which I've already gathered a few. So let me get started. Now this is a bucket of grapes. Concord grapes, that is. But I'm gonna keep cutting. The smell of them, best smell ever. I'm gonna call that good for now. There's plenty to keep me busy for a little while anyway. So I'm gonna take these inside and give them a wash, and then I will get started on making some grape jam. So come along with me so you can see how I do that. So I've brought the grapes in the house and I put them in the sink here. Now I've rinsed them off. But I'm just gonna stand here and pull all of these grapes off of the vines. And I'm placing them in another pot. This is obviously a little bit tedious, so we'll take some time. The grapes have all been washed and picked off of the vines. So now I'm going to use my Ninja blender. This is a 9-cup blender. And we're gonna put some grapes in here and basically puree them into a grape pulp. And I've got a large stock pot over here, so I'm just gonna pour it into that. enlisted the help of our Squeezo food strainer to finish this project. So this is the hopper where you place the contents that you want to remove the seeds or skins from. And we've got a bowl for the seeds and skins, and we've got a bowl for the grape puree that we want for grape jam. Now that we have removed the seeds from the grape puree, I have it on this portable burner. I'm going to turn it on high. We want to warm this up. This is 20 cups of grape puree, and to that I'm going to add 10 cups of sugar. There's 5. I'm going to stop and stir that in. I'm going to bring this mixture to a boil, and we will look for the magic gelling point of 220 degrees. I've made strawberry rhubarb jam this year as well as blackberry jam, and it's a very similar process to that. We've got videos out on both of those recipes if you care to watch them. The process is very similar, you'll find in all videos. Just want to mix that in well. That was 5 cups of sugar. I'll add 5 more. We have one more thing to add, and that's lemon juice. Okay, I have 3/4 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. I like to use fresh lemon juice. It tastes better and it seems to work really well for jam. I'm just going to add that in there. This is 3 ingredients: grapes, sugar, and fresh lemon juice. I've got it here on a portable burner. I'm just going to bring this to a boil and cook it down until it reaches 220 degrees. When it gets a little bit warmer, I'll insert my candy thermometer to be sure that I do reach the gelling point. Until then, it's just gonna sit here and cook, and I will occasionally give it a stir with the spoon. You wanna make sure you don't let it scorch to the bottom of your pan, because you will ruin your pot of jam. The jam is at a boil. We're just gonna let it do its magic and cook down. It'll start to thicken and the color will change as a lot of the liquid is boiled off. But just don't go too far from it and keep giving it an occasional stir. That way it doesn't burn to the bottom of your pan. Here in a couple minutes, I'll put in the candy thermometer so we can start monitoring the temperature. The jam still continues to cook down. You can see how much the level has decreased in the pot here. That's just the extra water boiling off. But you want to keep this at a pretty rapid boil. The jam's beginning to thicken up. You can see it's boiled down several inches. And we are hovering right around 215 degrees. So we've got 5 more to go. These last 5 degrees seem to take a little bit of time, so continue to be patient. Still waiting. We're almost there though. We have about 3 degrees to go. When it gets to this point, you want to stir it very carefully and keep your face back because it could splash up on you. I wish you could smell it. It smells wonderful. My grandma always told me, watch a pot, never boils. Well, it's boiling. It's just not reaching temperature. Probably the same theory she's talking about. We'll keep waiting. Almost. We have finally reached the gelling point. Since we've reached the gelling point of 220 degrees, I have turned the heat off on this burner. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my candy thermometer so it doesn't get broken. I'm just gonna set it in that jar for now. We're gonna wait for this to calm down. You wanna gently give it a stir. You don't want this to pop up and hit you in the face. It's got a really nice shimmer to it, or glisten, which if you're a jam maker is beauty to your eyes, because you know you have finally reached that precious temperature of 220 degrees. We are going to ladle this into some pint jars. I like to put our jam in pint jars. Since there's 5 adults that live here in our household, a pint serves us better than a jelly jar. But I do have some of those that I may do a second batch in. If you don't have a candy thermometer, which if you're gonna make a lot of jams, I recommend that you invest in one. They're $3 to $5, they're pretty cheap. I'm gonna put some jam on this plate. We're just gonna let that sit there for a moment, and I'll show you how to check it and make sure it's going to gel up and set nicely in the jars. But you can even tell just by dipping the spoon in here. Granted, this jam's super duper hot, and which makes it very runny, but see how it's coated the spoon very nicely? That's good. All right. You want to fill your jam in the jar and just leave a 1/4 inch headspace. I don't use a canning tool. I've been canning for a little while, so I know what that looks like. But if you're new to canning, you might want to use one of the canning headspace tools that they sell. Sometimes I take the funnel out so I can see. So, about like so. These will be processed in a water bath canner for 10 minutes. There are different times for different elevations, so depending on your elevation, you want to make sure you use the appropriate canning time, processing time. You can find that online, just Google it, or most canning books offer that information. I think this has had enough time to set up. This jam that I've put on the plate, see how it's running off in one big clump and doesn't run off like water. But oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Good thing about being the cook, you always get the first taste. Passes the test. I'm gonna finish putting the jam in the jars, and I'll show you how to clean the rims if you've been messy, and to put on the lids and the rings. We got almost 8 pints out of that batch of jam. This one's not quite full, so I'm just gonna put it in the refrigerator and we'll eat on it first. But to clean the rims of the jars, I was actually fairly neat this time doing the jam, but I used a damp paper towel, and you just want to wipe the rim of each jar. Ooh, they're hot. You want to get rid of any sticky residue from the jam that you might have gotten on the rim. That way your seal will seal nicely and you won't have to eat your jam right away. All right. Then we're just gonna put lids and rings on, fingertip tight. I'll put that one in the refrigerator. Helps if you have a towel. I've got the water in the water bath heating up. So as soon as that gets hot, then we'll put the jars in and bring that to a rolling boil for 10 minutes. When the water bath canner is hot, I'll show you that process. The water in the canner is hot. I put the jars in here in the jar rack, so I'm just gonna lower that into the water. And you want 1 to 2 inches of water over the top of your jars. And put the lid on and wait for this to come to a rolling boil. The water bath canner is at a rolling boil. I'm gonna start the timer for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is finished. Turn the heat off and we'll go ahead and take the lid off of the water canner. Raise the rack up. And using my jar lifter, I'm gonna place these on a towel. They'll sit here 12 to 24 hours. And then after that time frame, I will remove the rings and label each jar. And we'll store them downstairs with the rest of our canned goods in the basement. Thanks for stopping by Outdoors and Country Living today to make homemade Concord grape jam with me. I really enjoyed it. I was looking forward to this first harvest of our Concord grape jam, or Concord grapes, so I was really pleased with the way the jam turned out. So I will be making some more for sure. Thanks again for stopping by Outdoors and Country Living. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. If you're new to our channel, welcome. And we hope that you will hit that subscribe button because we've got a lot more work to do, which means more videos will be coming out. Thanks again for watching. You guys take care. We'll see you later.